What's up? Thanks for tuning in to another AMA. I'm Russell with Elevate Holistics, and we're very privileged to be here today with Leo Mancusa. We've been doing these AMAs for y'all to show the inside look at the dispensaries and kind of how the industry is operating. So super privileged to show you where the medicine comes from, and I'm going to let Leo introduce himself and tell you who we're here with, and then that guy's going to tell you where we're at.
Yeah, so nice to see everybody. Obviously, Leo Mancuso. I know that we've talked a little bit about what wellness means to us at Base MA and the products that we're going to carry, and one of the biggest things that we talked about was having the best quality there is out there. And so that's kind of why we're here today. I wanted to introduce somebody who's been kind of really a mentor to me on how to help out, in the dispensary side of things. Adam Diltz, who is basically running all of Illicit Gardens, and so here we are. And just want to make a formal introduction to somebody who's really going to be handling the best product in the state.
So, Adam, tell us about where we're at.
We are in what we call Illicit Gardens. We chose this name and this brand kind of as a way to take that word back from the negative connotation that it has. We're looking to give back to those that have been negatively affected by kind of what we feel are archaic or laws that should have never existed regarding the regulation of this herbal medicine. So Illicit Gardens we thought was a name that kind of will stick with people, and it will make people kind of look at it twice and think illicit means illegal or black market or wherever. And we're working with groups like Hannah Convicts, and spoken to the First Prisoners Project, and a highlight staffing group. They're working with us on potentially people that get released for cannabis crimes, getting them trained up and assimilated back into the workforce, and hopefully we can find them a job right here in our garden. So
that's super cool. And yeah, that's one of the biggest things, the brands that are doing it, which is one of the reasons we love working with Base MA. It's a patient focus, and all the way down to cultivation, on top of the quality grow that they're putting out, and we're going to be giving you a tour of that. They really care about the community and are doing their sense to give back. So that's amazing, the Hannah Convicts and different things that they're doing with folks as far as employment. So let's talk about the facility a little bit. Once you step in, tell us where we're sitting right now, and then we're going to be taking a tour. So can you give us some key features about what makes Illicit facilities grow the most premium flower?
Yeah, so where we're sitting in right now is just a kind of an elementary greenhouse. It's got some bells and whistles added to it, but this greenhouse was in some form or fashion existing before we got here. So we felt like it was a great opportunity to at least get some product out there. So what you see around us are Autoflower Plants. What I personally feel is not as high a quality of a plant, but everything in here is getting extracted, and we'll get turned into tinctures and vapes and edibles and shatters and all that stuff. So all this will be going to a MIP, manufactured infused product facility in the state. But we also have a 9,000 square foot indoor grow with 1,300 or so square foot flower rooms, and also an expansion project going that we should be in by March or so. One of the things that we do here is source top shelf quality genetics. Nothing here is ever rushed. Nothing here is 100% automated. Our growers will touch every single plant every single day, ensuring that there are no issues that kind of get out of your control. Whereas if you have some of these sea of green or grows that just kind of set it and forget it, you don't really notice problems until it's a big problem. So we do take a very hands-on, it's a more labor-intensive approach, but we're very confident in the methods here that we'll be producing some of the best high-quality medicine the state has to offer.
Definitely. What type of grow methods are you using? And on efficiency, I know one of the cool things is this well water.
Yeah, so we're located about stone's throw from the Missouri River. So we were able to dig a well. Got about 3,000 gallons a minute flow rate. We then run that through filters and reverse osmosis, but that's just one of the many ways that we're operating an incredibly efficient facility. We all of our electric, we ran high voltage 480, so you get a much higher efficiency in your kilowatts used. We're using all LED lights in the grow. We're reclaiming all of our condensate water. You pull hundreds of gallons of water out of the air in a grow from the dehumidifiers and AC units. We're recapturing that water and refiltering it and reintroducing it back into the RO tanks. We built a building that is as insulated of a building as I've ever been in. It's got about 9 inches of spray foam insulation all the way around it. A new white TPO roof that helps with reflection, for heat load. Our HVAC units are completely redundant units that convert from AC power to DC power. Again, it's just another way to keep your efficiency down, because we do know that this is a green business, but we want to try and keep it as eco-friendly green as possible. So
definitely, that's so cool with the reusable sustainability aspect of it all.
Yeah.
And moving on, before we take this tour, you are going to be supplying to Base MA Wellness, but Illicit, the brand itself, will be across Missouri, correct?
Correct.
Do you have locations or dispensaries you can speak on for maybe areas where patients can find this?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have our first harvest in the indoor. We'll go check it out here in a few minutes. It'll be coming down first, second week of December. So really, the flower product will be in dispensaries by the beginning of the year. We'll at first we've made agreements to supply to two dispensary groups in the Kansas City area. One being Base MA Wellness, another one being From the Earth. We've also met with quite a few groups around the state, and so there's definitely a demand for product out there. So as soon as we have it available, we're going to try and get it into as many dispensaries across the state as possible.
That's awesome. And about how much product do you think you're going to be putting off on a frequency basis?
So in this first phase, not including this greenhouse we're in with the indoor flower, we'll be around 300 pounds a month packaged with flower. We have broken ground on an expansion. We can check that out as well, and that will put us closer to the 2,500 to 3,000 pound a month, probably by April and May.
Jeez, that's amazing, man.
Some weight.
Get some weight. So we're pulling weight right here in Show Me State. They're trying to show you the best way to do it with premium grows like Adam. So if everyone's ready, let's go take a look at the flower rooms and how they start off. All right, everyone, first up with the tour. Adam, looks like a sea of green. Where are we right now?
We're in the veg room right now. It's where we keep the clones and all the way our mothers. We actually don't use mothers. We clone off young, I call it teenage plants. But yeah, so we have the clones and domes, and they go into the cubes, and then they come in pots, where they sit here for our predetermined amount of time before it's taken to the flower room.
Nice. And what kind of lights? How is this all hooked up together with the watering system and that?
Yeah, so we're running 32 tables, in the bedroom, 36 tables, each one with two 660 watt LED lights, all on dimming control. Right now they're at about 50% power. The room has 36 4-foot by 10-foot tables. So the way we do it is every round has a predetermined amount of tables that go into the flower. So if you're looking back there, kind of those bigger plants, those are the next ones to go into the next available flower room. And then these ones that are kind of more jam-packed together, that's the round behind it. And then you have the round in 4-inch cubes, about 2 weeks behind those, and then 2 weeks behind those are in the clone domes. So,
and I noticed they're all zip tied. Look, so you're not moving these up and down?
No, not with the vertical growing. It becomes better to just buy more intense lights and dim them, so we can dim them. Rather than raising and lowering them, we can brighten them, and that kind of gives it the same effect without having to go in and manually kind of raise and lower all of them. So,
absolutely. And what's the time frame moving from clone across before you're switching them into flower? Is it all visual, or do you go off a week?
No, we go by day actually. So they spend about 12 to 13 days in the domes, about another 10 days in the 4-inch cubes, and then about 23 days in pots, and then they go to flower.
Nice. That's the next stop of this trip here?
Yep. Off to the flower.
All right, guys. This is where it's starting to pop off. So this is one of the first stages of the flower rooms. What do we got going on here? And in the back, we have some people attending. So where are we at here?
So this is flower room C. So this will be our third harvest come down. What we got going on right now is a start of week 3, or kind of end of week 3 defan. So the guys are going through and plugging off, I'd say 75% of the family is kind of thin out the plant, allow some good light penetration to get down into that lower canopy.
That's sick. And I notice we're still double stacked. How far, and not adjusting the lights again, how far are these going? What is this set to?
So the lights now are about 75-80% power. You're in flower. You're measuring in par. So we're at about a little over 1,000 par rating at this stage of the plant's life. As soon as they're done defanning, they'll go through and kind of tie down some of these branches, kind of lower this canopy a little bit, try and keep the canopy 6 to 8 inches away from the lights.
Nice. And how many flower rooms are there? We're in C.
We're C,
A, B, C, D. They follow.
Yeah. So 5 flower rooms for this first phase, and then once we're out there in the bigger building by March, we'll be up to 18 flower rooms.
Nice. And are these moving from room to room, or once it sits in a flower room, is it finishing out right there?
So yeah, once it comes in a flower room, it gets netted in. It's there for the long haul. So after this project, the defan, and then kind of like I said, lowering the canopy a little bit. At that point, we just don't touch it. It's just the feeding, less kind of movement, and human interaction with the plant beyond this period. This is just where we want those bud sizes to start to swell.
Definitely. And we're in week 3, so y'all can see these are just starting to turn into little fuzz balls. I mean, it's beautiful. We can't touch anything because we have to stay super clean in here, but we're going to the next room, which is how far ahead? You said that one's going to be.
That room's about 4 weeks ahead of this one. It's our first room to harvest, and it's coming down December 10th.
Awesome, super stoked. So let's go see some bigger buds. All right, everyone, this is a very special room. I want to share with you something cool about the flower stage and when lights are out, and why we're in here at the green stage. So, Adam, what's up with the green lights, and what's going on in this room?
So, cannabis is a photosensitive plant, as most of you, I'm sure, are aware. So the determining stage of life is based off their the light cycle. So in veg you're at an 18-hour period of light, right? In flower you're 12 to 12. So when you need to get in a room when it's dark, you work under green light. For in layman's terms, plants just can't see green light. So it doesn't wake them up. It doesn't interrupt their photo period. It doesn't freak them out. If we were to come in here and do this with regular lights. Put seeds in all this product, Still keep growing, but it'd be full of seeds.
Put herm out. Yeah, that's something super cool. So just like infrared light, to us, it's undetectable, we can't see. We're actually in a darked out flower room that's growing that has no effect on it at all from these green headlamps. So just want to get that in. Thank you, Adam, for showing us that cool fact and something you can use in your grow. Last stop on the field trip, the big girl room. These are some of the, if you could smell the room right now, stinkiest, juiciest nugs I've ever seen. Adam, how far along are these, and what's the next steps in these girls' lives?
So these are on day 45, 46 of flower. They'll push some strains in here are 8-week strains, some are 9-week strains. This table is an 8-week strain. This is a Purple Punch and Kim Dog cross. We call it Purple Kim. But yeah, so we got a couple more weeks left until these harvest. Then you got a 10-day dry period, couple week cure, testing, packaging. Then it'll be ready out the door. Everything will be ready, by first of the year.
Definitely. And do y'all use a flush at the end of this, or is it just going to finish out?
No, we'll flush. So we'll flush the last 5-6 days, get the parts per million down, next to nothing. Give them about 6-7 straight days of just straight RO water, pH RO water flush. I've been doing a lot of kind of reading and researching and stuff. And there's a lot of people that are kind of debunking the whole flush thing. Just recently, now there's actually some science-driven data behind it. More importantly is really kind of your temperatures and your room atmosphere that last kind of week, and then also the dry and cure. I don't know how many growers I've worked with and seen that grow beautiful product and then they rush it during that that last week or two dry and cure period, it just ruins the product, you know. So you really want to make sure you take your time and do it right. You know, obviously, you know, the science is always changing, and you know, we're learning every day, and you know, we just want to try and, you know, produce the best product that the state of Missouri has to offer.
Absolutely. And that's something that is crucially important for all your home growers. So do you have tips about curing and drying? How do you all handle at large volume like this? What's your process for drying?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, the biggest thing is your humidity out the gate, because when you harvest a plant, you hang dry it, or some people, you know, cut it up and dry on trays or whatever you do, you're bringing a ton of moisture into a small room. So if you're not very, very, very careful with humidity levels, I mean, you can walk in and it'll look like it's snowed with mold, you know, overnight. So you got to be really, really careful about the humidity. You know, obviously everyone has their own kind of secret sauce of where they like, but you know, humidity control and then cooler temperatures definitely help to maintain some of those terpenes, which I personally feel like is the most important part of the plant. So,
and do you have a rule of thumb on how long you should hang it, how long it should be in the curing jar? How do new growers judge that?
You know, it really has to do, there's an old school kind of trick for drying. You're done drying when you can snap a branch and it cracks. If you try to bend a branch and it kind of bends it all, you got another day or two, you know, let it dry. If you snap a branch and it cracks, it's ready to go through the curing process. The curing process is, you know, when you put it into a jar, or a bucket, or a tote, or whatever your, you know, container of choice is, and burp it, you know, every day, every other day, every 2 days, you know, whatever, again, kind of, you know, what each individual person likes to do. But yeah, that's
awesome. And how many strains are in here? Because now we're in the last flower. How many strains is Illicit bringing out to market, and what are we looking at here?
So in the facility right now, we have about 10 with another 30 to 40 on deck. We'll hold off on those until we have a little more space in our expansion build. But right now we're running 11 strains. This first room I think has 6. The next room has a couple more on top of the 6, and then all 11 will be available by probably February. But yeah, bring great genetics, you know, here, and that's crucial.
So absolutely. No, so you said about 2 weeks left on these here. Did you say 45? About maybe 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Right now it's scheduled to harvest around December 10th, or the 24th.
Yep.
So yeah, about 2.5 weeks.
And that's what I want to go back. These things are huge. Can you put your hand kind of behind one of those? Because some of these nugs right there, massive, and they still have a couple weeks to go before they're going to take this room down. So yeah,
they'll keep swelling.
Super stoked. Yeah, and then, you know, we started this all off. This is going to be an exclusive supplier for BaseMA Wellness. So super stoked. Be watching their dispensaries and dispensaries around the area to carry the Illicit brand soon.